Hi, Maria.
Hi.
Thanks for agreeing to meet with me again today.
Of course.
The last time we spoke, you mentioned that you had some learning requirements for some of your team members, and I agreed to go away and have a look and try and develop a bit of a learning program to meet the needs that you mentioned to me at our last meeting. So today I just wanted to catch up with you and run past you my plan that I've put together.
Great.
To see if it meets your needs and that you're happy with it. So if it's okay with you, I'll just step us through it.
Yeah, perfect.
At a fairly high level. I know you're very busy, so I won't keep you too long. I've given you a copy of it there anyway, so you can take that away with you.
Yep.
So I'll just jump in unless
fantastic. No, that's great. It's good that we're going to go through this. I've been interested to see how we're going, so let's do it.
All right. So what you described to me was that you had a group of employees that are all full-time admin workers, and they attend meetings regularly.
That's right. Yeah.
And you feel that the meetings could be more effective if they've done some training and understood more effective techniques, communication techniques particularly.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
That's a fair assumption.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, that's assumption. You told me that.
No, that's spot on. It's just exactly what we needed. Yeah.
All right. So look, what I've come up with is I found a unit of competency which is all about the use of oral communication and skills to participate in workplace meetings.
Brilliant.
And I think the content of that really is going to suit the needs of your workers. There's a few other things we need to consider, and you've already told me that they're all secondary educated but not tertiary.
Yeah.
You've told me that they are of diverse cultural background, but they all have good command of English and that they read and write at a modest level. So that's all great. That fits in with the requirements of this particular unit.
Oh, good.
Really well.
Yeah, that's great.
So based on the other information you gave, you did mention that you preferred that we do this course online.
Yes.
Because we've got some of the learners will be in remote locations.
Yeah, that's right. And
so how many of those have you got in remote locations? Out of the 6 that we're training?
So I've got 2, but then we have people who do regular working from home as well.
Right.
So I've got a mixture of people. So doing it online is definitely going to be a way to be able to make sure that everyone's included in the training.
No, that's good. And look, I think that is quite an effective way to deliver this particular unit as well. It lends itself nicely to that.
Okay, that's good.
Some of the requirements of the unit are that we need to record people having spoken interactions, and doing it online really facilitates that for us. So we can use the recording systems within Teams to be able to catch those spoken interactions.
Okay. Does that enable us then to provide that recording for anyone who misses that particular session, that training?
Yeah, it would. Yeah. So if we had a student that wasn't available for a particular reason on any day, they would be able to catch up by reviewing that unit.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So they'd all be able to progress effectively at the same pace, even if they have to miss a session before unplanned leave or for whatever reason. They'd still be able to get to the end.
Look, I've got to say, there's a lot more benefit of attendance.
Yeah.
You have those interactions
Absolutely.
with the other people who were there learning as well. So there's a lot more benefit if they're able to attend.
And I'll definitely be encouraging everyone to participate, and this is really important for us. So we'll make sure that everyone does everything they possibly can to be involved at the time of the training sessions.
Excellent. So now that you've mentioned time of training sessions, the plan that I've put together has got delivery over 6 2-hour sessions.
Okay.
So last time we spoke, you mentioned that you prefer it to be done during working hours, so there was no additional imposition on any of the workers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I think is really great. So I put together a plan of working between 3 and 5 p.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays. So they were the hours that you said suited the business best. Is that still the case?
Yeah, look, absolutely. So it's 6 2-hour sessions. Is that something that could be condensed, or should it be in the 6 sessions?
Yeah, look, there's really not a lot of scope to condense it.
Okay.
the requirements of the unit are such that nominally it's supposed to take 10 hours to deliver,
right.
and I've added a little extra in there to allow for the assessment to take place during the class as well.
Okay, great.
So we'll
that makes sense.
Now, the first session will typically be a get-to-know-you kind of session, and we'll go through some administrative stuff and refresh on how to use Teams if they need to.
Okay.
So that the first session will probably only run an hour and a half, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that'll be okay. That'll be sort of easing them in.
Yeah.
And then we'll get stuck in. We'll have 4 detailed 2-hour sessions, and then we'll follow up with the last session where we'll do the assessment. And of course, I'll spend some time to get feedback, and particularly, I like to get them to assess what knowledge they have right at the start of the course. And then get them to reflect at the end of the course, and see how it's been for them, what they've.
That's great. Yeah. Okay. All right. That sounds fine.
All right. So other stuff that we need to cover off, the assessment we've spoken about, delivery's fine. You can go through these documents and it will actually detail for you exactly what's in each session.
Yeah, I can see you've got quite a bit of content here, which is great.
The assessment process is going to be a short answer questionnaire.
Okay.
So at this stage, we're anticipating there'll be 15 questions that they'll need to respond to. You don't anticipate anybody will have any difficulty with?
No, not at all. Yeah, they should be fine.
So some people, that's good. That's great. Some people can feel quite pressured when they have, the exam style scenario. So that's great.
Yeah.
All right, and then of course the other part of the assessment will be the recorded meetings, if you like, or the spoken interactions. All right. What else do we need to cover off? Assessment methods. We spoke about the LLN requirements, so language literacy numeracy requirements. So from what you've told me, I'm not thinking that there's going to be any issues within the cohort. They're all secondary educated, they all speak English well, they read and write effectively. So this particular unit, the skill set that's required, the foundation skills, are all explicit in the performance of the criteria.
Okay.
So, and the foundation skills are quite low level.
Right.
So it should be simple enough for them to do.
And that's all that's required for the foundation skills as a prerequisite? Is that all that's needed?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so, that should be fine then.
All right. So the other things that we need to tidy up are just the resources and the logistics of it. For example, the computers that they have at their desks at work, do they have cameras on them?
Yep, they've all got cameras.
Right, they've all got internet access?
Yeah, absolutely. And even those working in regional areas and working from home are used to that sort of mode of operation, and that's all been fine. So I don't anticipate any problems there.
All right.
Yeah.
So any other questions from your end?
Yeah, I was just thinking, so one of the things that, they may be interested in is whether they get some sort of certificate or something at the end of the training. Is there something that we can provide them to say they've successfully completed?
Yeah, really good question actually. And one of the big benefits of doing a unit of competency is that if they successfully complete that, they'll get a statement of attainment.
Oh, great. That's fantastic.
And apart from having a piece of paper that says I've done it, that statement of attainment and that competency in that unit could also build to another qualification.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they could carry that in if they go on and do some further study. They could potentially get RPL or even credit transfer, depending on how long they wait for another qualification.
Oh, that's fantastic. I think there could be one or two of them particularly who may be interested in that particular aspect of it as well. So that's fantastic.
That's fantastic. All right, never too old to learn. So.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And just to make sure, because I'm going to be also asked the question: is this all meet RTO requirements?
Yeah, absolutely,
well?
absolutely.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
As you may or may not be aware, RTOs are governed by a regulatory authority, ASPA, and they audit what we do on a regular basis. So everything has to be above board, everything has to be done by the book. And you also pointed out that you had some company policies and procedures that we needed to adhere to as well.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
You've made us aware of your standards of conduct and your IT usage policy.
Yeah,
information management. So yeah, we're all over that. We've got
okay, great. Okay, so you don't need any other information on those at this stage?
No.
That's fine.
No, we're fine at the moment. Thank you.
Okay. No worries. Okay, so it all sounds really great. I think the only thing that we'll need to do is just make sure that we get it all confirmed and approved prior to commencement. But otherwise, it all sounds great.
So you mentioned previously that you wanted to see the training program before.
That's right. Yeah, before it's delivered.
Go live with it.
Yeah.
So that's still the case?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm keen to have a look at it and understand it and see all the content that will be delivered to the cohort before it's actually done. So
I understand that.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad you're that interested, to be honest. Now, of course, my manager, the RTO manager, he'll need to approve all the content and everything before I give it to you.
Okay, fantastic.
So yeah, there will be a good level of compliance checking.
Wonderful.
That's done before it comes to you.
Yeah.
But you'll have the final say, of course. You're the client, so you'll get to say yay or no.
Perfect. All right, sounds great to me.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. I will now go ahead and build that training material.
Yeah, brilliant.
And come back to you with a proposed date to kick this off.
Brilliant. I'm excited. Sounds really good.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks, Stuart.